A few weeks ago, I turned 20 years old. And to cap the day off, I got a bunch of friends together to stream some web fishing and have a grand old time catching critters, chalk drawing, and most importantly, gambling.
Oh my god, holy shit. Holy big winner. Big fucking winner. Hello.
But around halfway through, things started getting pretty serious as we went back and forth about life and how everyone was on their own journey. It led to a lot of powerful conversations about letting go of the past, finding your purpose for the future, and how no matter what, you just have to push on through. I hope that no matter where you are in life, you can take something away from my late night ramblings and that they resonate with you the same way they did with others at the time. So please enjoy the next 20 or so minutes of unsolicited life advice while web fishing. Also, sorry for the on-screen visuals. We got a little carried away with the homegrown brain rot. You just had to be there.
You know, going up to this, I was kind of dreading getting older, and then I realized that time is not the enemy that I think it is. It's just a gift that I'm still kicking, and I get to live in the same time as, albeit a lot of horrible things in the world, but I live in a time where I've found things that I love. I think a lot of pressure gets put on young people because of the internet and social media now, when it's like, as long as you're alive and you're going roughly in a direction that you want to be going down, you're fine. The fucking 20-year-old LA Hollywood dipshit influencers kind of, I don't want to say stunted a generation, but they made them think that life is about being glamorous when it's not. And chasing like a constant high, and like it's just not. Like finding purpose and community and trying to be content with life is much more important than just like, I need to constantly look at me go. Like you can afford to speed up and slow down as much as you want whenever you want. Just don't stop. That's what I've learned. Just don't stop. But you can absolutely slow the fuck down. And that's fine. Sometimes you gotta recuperate. Everyone's on a different timeline, far ahead or too far behind. Like, who gives a shit? You are where you are right now, and that's a gift. So enjoy it. It's just a gift that I can do this. That I'm doing this right now at 1 a.m, kicking it in a video game with a bunch of friends. Like, that's sick. Where I was at like 2.5 years ago, I was fucking in hell, low key. And I'm glad I'm not anymore. 17-year-old me would be very happy to see now 20-year-old me. Especially with where 17-year-old me was at and fucking dealing with. It's night and day. Because I genuinely did not find like actual quote-unquote peace with my life until like a few weeks before I turned 19. Up until then, dude, I was constantly battling something. And now I'm good. So I've learned the hard way. Nothing is ever constant. The mantra I like saying is, everything will be all right in the end, and if it's not all right, it's not the end. That's all. That's all there is to it. Things work themselves out. That's what I've learned. But you do got to put in some work yourself. You can't expect it all to like time is not the ultimate healer. I don't believe that anymore. It just makes things sting less. You have to put in the work to move forward, not move on and forget, but to move forward. It doesn't mean bearing it. It doesn't like it means allowing yourself to feel it and experience it and being like, okay, let me learn. Fuck this. I can't do this again. I can't put myself in this situation. I can't do this to myself. Now I know. I currently feel behind because I haven't found what to go to uni for yet, and some of my friends already graduated. But that's the thing. That's like the typical path is like the moment you get out of high school, you go to college, you spend 4 years there, and then you find a job, and then there you go. That's what like everyone supposedly does. Everyone's on a different timeline. You can view that kind of stuff as one of two ways. You can view it as missed opportunities or failure, or you can view it as motivation to be like, okay, I don't have to be doing what they're doing when it comes to like direction in life. How I view it is like a general cone. It's not like a straight shot, slingshot, like one direction. It's go exactly that way, make no changes. It's like a cone, like a nice like cone radius of like let's say like a think of like a pie chart and think of like a quarter of a pie chart. like that kind of cone. As long as you're setting yourself up in like a cone like that and you're giving yourself options, then you're fine. As long as you're always going forward in that cone, somewhere in that cone, you're fine. But sometimes you do got to sit down and think critically of like, what do I want from life? What is the purpose? What do I want to be the reason that I get up every day? And don't say school or work. Why do you get up? Why are you going to school? Why are you going to work? What are you doing with the money? What do you want to do in life that fulfills you and brings you a genuine purpose, an actual reason to get up every day and to get better? Comparison kills. Everyone's on a different timeline. And, you know, you're never always going to have everything 100% figured out. Life is modular, things change, you adapt. How something was, you know, now can be completely different and upended, good and bad, in 2 years. Hell, things can change things can happen in 6 months. A lot of shit can go right and go wrong in 6 months. 6 months is a nice benchmark, but also enjoy it because like you're only ever this young once. So it's okay to just get lost in the moment sometimes, as long as, you know, you're not going blind to the big picture. Life never has to be perfect. You'll have roadblocks and issues will come up. You'll find people that can give you opportunities and change your life. Exactly. And you don't know that until it happens. That's like another thing that I love and respect about myself is probably starting around age, like I've kind of always been like a little like fuck it, we ball mentality. But I think over the past like year and a half, I've really doubled down on it. Casting a Rocket League tournament, 17-year-old me would have overthought that and not have done it because I would have stifled myself so much and being like, oh, I don't know if I, like, you know what I mean? Like that whole fucking ruminating on, am I actually good enough to do it? Like, who cares? Just do it. You know, I'm not gonna get better at it and learn about it if I don't do it. Like I said, we are only this young once, so it's fine to enjoy it. Just don't like go completely tunnel vision to like, oh, I'm young, so this is the moment where I just like disregard everything. Like, you have a future. Everyone does, whether they realize it or not. It's so hard to say this without giving like specific examples, but I used to know people that would intentionally put that off. I watched them literally fall from grace as human beings because they disregarded that and just didn't care about working on themselves and building skills and like, I mean, literally just like and having like issues that they needed to resolve as they got older and they didn't. And that ended up hurting myself and other people. And I'm not using that as a way to like poke fun and be like, oh, like look at these fucking losers. But like, I've seen it with my own eyes. Some people just don't get it. So step one is being aware of the fact that, oh, you know, I probably should like be preparing for that and thinking about it. Because some people don't. Some people are that unaware. I cannot believe I turned 18 2 years ago. It feels like a fucking blur. I remember exactly where I was, what I was feeling, what I was going through, the things that were falling apart around me, but also the new opportunities that were opening. I could feel myself changing in real fucking time. The horror of growing older and realizing you're entering a new chapter of your life with a fuck ton of uncertainty, but also welcoming it with opening arms and realizing that there's still work that needs to be done and there's things you need to you clean out of the closet and baggage you need to leave behind before I graduate high school and move on with my fucking life into a new era. Like, yeah, that was fucking freaky. That was like, you know, the amount of people either that let go of me or I let go of them. Like, it's like, okay, yeah, this is fine because like you weren't that good anyway. And sometimes people will fucking do you wrong. Like I said, I fortunately know somebody and I'm trying very fucking hard to not fucking get any more specifics about them. But they fucking fell the fuck off. I would have never guessed that since I knew them age like 16, 17, that just a couple years later, they would be a total fucking bitch and like borderline ruin my life. I would have never fucking guessed that. If I went back in time in a goddamn time machine and said, hey, this person is going to fucking like ruin you, enjoy, I would have been like, what? How? But it happened. It can fucking happen. So it's important to be wary of things while they fucking happen. The screen being here while you talk about this stuff, it's peak, I have to say. Should I turn some of it off? Also, this song's really fucking weird. This should not be playing right now. This is a good one. And I'm gonna mute the game audio as well so we get just the music here. You can slow down. Be aware of what's going on. Like, it's fine. People sadly change so quick, and it's so sad. It is. It's a shame to hold on to something so fucking tightly while it's still finding ways to slip out of your hands. I would have killed to have some people in my life still, but then I realized, no, this is probably for the better, because this is who they are now, and I don't want someone like this in my life anyway, even if they used to be good. As Star or Lee once said, I don't know if you're still here, but I'll never forget when you said to me, it was such a simple sentence. You said, even if they're good to you sometimes, they're still bad to you. That doesn't erase anything. Just because 2/3 of the time they're fine doesn't mean the 1/3 is excusable, because it's not. Man, there's only so much you can do. You can lead a horse to water. You can't make them fucking drink. You can point some shit out to people as much as you want and being like, hey, what the fuck are you doing? Don't do that. And they can just not fucking listen. It's like talking to a brick wall. In fact, now that I said that, I'm going to search on Tenor that brick wall gif. I've realized a lot of younger people don't have real life foundations. I've seen many of my friends become different or radicalized because a new digital wave of politics flushed them out. Sometimes it pushes in better directions than others. Don't have real life foundations, I think, is a good kind of deep way of putting it. How deep do I want to get here? How much trauma dumping do I want to do? I grew up in a military family, so pretty young, I was faced with kind of the idea of death, and like, oh yeah, by the way, your dad might not come back home, and like at first it's like, oh, I wonder why that is, and then like age like 8, it actually clicked with me right before he retired. I was like, oh, because he'll be fucking killed somewhere in the Middle East. So unfortunately, I've never really faced with the brutal realities of death and life. Pretty early, kind of robbed me a little bit of a normal life that I'm not going to share more than that, but then that snowballs into other things that have definitely affected me. But I was kind of guaranteed to go on a path of somewhat fucking not normal, but like to be on a more correct path of like morality and stuff. And like there's other things, like when I was 17 and going through hell, like I started reading up on philosophy and shit, and that borderline saved my life. So like, yeah, like I exposed myself. I was fortunate enough to be exposed to things that did benefit me in a positive way. But like some people just go down these pipelines, and it's bad. I know like you use like politics and stuff as an example, but I'm also speaking generally of like, they get stuck in this rabbit hole and they don't get out of it. They don't realize it's bad for them. And like I said, you can't you're not responsible for the dysfunction of other people. You can help them as much as you choose, but they don't have to listen to you. In some cases in my life, I wish they did, because I wonder how things would be different. Because not to be that guy, but I was right. I was right. I'm getting kind of sick of right and left culture war thing with the digital politics. That shit doesn't exist. Only makes us versus them. It pushes people into the extremes more. Yeah, well, it's all fabricated. It's manufactured to get neighbors to hate each other, while the people above pick everyone's pockets and quietly fuck everyone over. They've done an insane job at getting people to hate each other over trivial things. It's honestly fucking impressive. You have people hating on an already marginalized demographic and like willing to essentially wage war on them when, like, I don't know, billionaires pull the strings for almost everything in the world, and there's a fuck ton of sick, twisted, evil motherfucker corporations that are actively torching everything. It's insane the amount of people that wake up hate-filled and go, oh yeah, like I hate this. I hate these people. I don't know them personally, but I was told by this echo chamber that they're bad, therefore they are. And I believe everything I see at face value. I don't question my reality at all, and I wonder why I'm miserable all the time. It's like, what? You did that to yourself, man. If you're not thinking for yourself, someone else is thinking for you. which is a very bad thing. Someone or something else is thinking for you. So, you know, stop and think, do I want this? No. Do I actually believe this? No. Then don't fucking give into it. Disease is a good way to put it. It's a fucking plague. It's stunted a lot of people. Young people worried about the wrong things. And all you can hope is at some point they wake the fuck up and they're like, oh, wait, I'm wasting so much time. You need a Sunday service stream so we can hear you fucking preach. Look, this is how I talk to myself sometimes. If I'm left alone with my thoughts past midnight and I can't like calm the fuck down, I just start talking to myself like this. But what I find very interesting, and I'm not saying this for either side, I'm just simply stating the obvious, what I've noticed is like, think of a lot of presidents since 2000, like George Bush, Obama, Trump, Biden, and how they get memed. And I think this is something I've thought about before, not even just presidents, just like celebrities. Someone evil people get memed to the point where people don't, it numbs how evil they are. It like desensitizes people to actually how fucked up they are because, oh, it's the meme guy. Current example is Diddy. Like how everyone, like, have you seen Instagram comment sections on ads where everyone just says, nice try, Diddy? And it's just like a hive mind of that. It's like, I'm sure it's funny for like the first week, but after a while, it's like, I feel like that's dumbing down to the point where if you ask like a 17-year-old that regurgitates that shit all the time, who he is and what he's done and why he's bad, they might not even know that he's bad. I think that's also might be a genuine issue, is like the way the internet is like if something gets super memed, it loses its bite. And in some cases, like it's funny to dunk on people that deserve it, but then things always evolve in a weird way where it's kind of lost the reason of why it's being shit on. Every online community is hyper ironic. Yeah. I mean, look at what's on screen right now. I'm scared to turn 20. Dude, you, at some point between now and when's your birthday? June? Don't tell me. I think it's, you said 12th or 15th? June 5th. Okay, I knew I was close. I was a week late. Yeah, at some point between now and June 5th, you and I are going to have like a 5-hour long conversation about life, and you're going to feel just fine after it. That's the Distorticon guarantee, the Distorticon effect right there, baby. We're all on different paths, and that's fine. No one's the exact same age. Everyone's like doing whatever the fuck they feel is right, which is important. Trusting your gut, your intuition, and doing whatever you want, but still, you know, taking care of yourself, taking care of others. We had our life-changing podcast until 7 a.m. that one time. Yeah, and I remember I was echoing a similar sentiment of just like, you know, at some point you'll have to make that decision, but until then, like, you are not behind by comparison. Because think about this, if you were the only like human being around, there'd be all of a sudden there'd be nothing to go off of, and it'd just be feeling what you felt like doing in the moment. No other expectation. Everyone else is expected to follow what's already been created, given to the status quo, I believe is the right word to use for it. The only expectations you should listen to are the ones set by yourself. Give yourself a break. Some people are way older and doing less. Fucking exactly. You nailed it right there. Some people are older and quote unquote behind. Some people are younger and ahead. A lot of people fall right in the middle. No one's going to have the exact same journey. No one has had the exact same life as you. Everyone's life is so incredibly nuanced and detailed, and that's dope. That doesn't mean at some point you need to, you know who else is doing less than you? The rich. So unbelievable. Can you tweet that or something? It's also never too late for anything. Don't let anyone tell you that either. I don't care if you're 16 or 60. It's never too late. I'm excited about being 20. I wasn't about being 18. I don't think I really was about being 19. Crazy what another year can do to you. So, I'm still kicking, baby. Fuck you and everybody that's ever done me wrong. I'm still alive, bitch. You cannot kill me in a way that matters. I'm not gonna say anything else after that. Thank you.